election, obviously.
Election. Yes.
Everybody. We've had a crazy political season. We've elected Donald Trump as our president, apparently. And there's all sorts of stuff. I actually been thinking about this. I've been thinking about this with the way the media handled this based off what's going on now. I think about a lot about with social media and just general, like working within a church. I wanted to get your perspective on this, that the media obviously called this wrong. Everybody was like,
Yep.
like even, I mean, I had so many people who just voted for Trump as well. And they totally didn't even understand that this was going to happen. They still even the night Tuesday, they're like, there's no way this is going to happen. So often you think about how we have our data points wrong and how you think you know your community, and at the end of the day, you don't. And even CNN, Fox, parts of Fox News, MSNBC, overall media, they all thought Hillary was going to go in a landslide, was going to win, and Trump was going to get smashed. Obviously, the opposite happened. How do you avoid this in your church culture when you're trying to communicate to them effectively, and also just understanding what they need? How do we avoid not knowing how to, what our community wants? Because if the world is struggling with that, how do we as a church, how do we effectively actually understand our community and not just make a wrong guess like they did? I wanted to talk about that a little bit.
That's great. I think, and here's my opinion, is that I think pastors can do this too, just like the media did, is we just jump to assumptions. Since we hear a few people that are really loud about certain things, and we make an assumption based on what we're hearing, but we're not really listening, and we're not really taking the time to really listen well. And I think that's one of the powers of social media is, if I were watching social media pre-election, I would have said Donald Trump was going to win by 70%. But I saw 70-80% more traffic on social media about Donald Trump than I did about Hillary. Not all good, but engagement was there for sure. At the end of the day, I don't think people really listen. I think they have their minds made up and they made assumptions and I don't know how they came to all these assumptions that were so wrong. But I think we do the same thing. I mean, in churches we don't spend enough time listening, and we make assumptions based on what we hear or see, which is too often from a minority and not a majority. And then at the end of the day, we make decisions based on those assumptions.